Welcome to Three Questions, sponsored by the 18th Legislative District, Washington State Democrats. I'm your host, Wil Fuentes. My guest today is current Legislative Representative Sharon Wylie, who is campaigning for Clark County Auditor. Sharon, welcome to Three Questions again. You were here a few months ago, so really happy to have you back. But this time you're here for a different reason. So why don't we do this? Let's get to it. Let me ask you three questions, and we'll go from there.
That's fine.
Awesome. Question number one, Sharon Wylie, what are you running for? Tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
I'm running for county auditor for Clark County.
All right.
I started out in local government.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot about the different government operations.
Mm-hmm.
I was county lobbyist for 10 years before I was in the legislature.
Oh, wow.
And I worked very closely with the auditor, the treasurer, and the assessor on several pieces of legislation, as well as transportation, mental health, and all the other things that the county does. Mm-hmm. And I have about 30 years as a management consultant of going in and creating county programs like risk management programs, working in the human resources and labor relations area, and helping systems work better. So my background is in nuts and bolts of county government before I was a legislator and did policy. And I have been wanting to be closer to my community. I've been wanting to be on the implementation and making it work better side of things. When you're a policymaker in the legislature, you do some very exciting things. You do policy, but then you turn it over to the executive and hope that executive picks people with the right skill sets to make it happen. And more, I wanted to be on the ground to see what's happening. I wanted to be closer to my community. I've been doing a lot more community involvement kinds of things just for my heart. Because it's a time when I think we need to pull together.
Absolutely. Now you mentioned you want to be closer to home. You want to be boots on the ground, doing the work for your community. For the last 16 years, what have you been doing? And most people probably already know, but why don't you tell some of our viewers who don't?
I was very lucky and blessed to be the one of the two state representatives for the 49th district. And before that, I was the county's lobbyist. So I worked with all the county departments and for 10 years. And then I took a break and got appointed to this position, and I've been reelected for 15 years.
Wow, that's incredible. So you've got a lot of government experience. You've been at the legislature. By the end of the year, you'll be done with the legislature, correct?
When the new people get sworn in, it's the second week. They start the second week of January. And so at the end of the first week of January, I'll be done with this position. But until then, I'm still working.
You're still representing us.
Absolutely.
You're still representing. You're in my district, the 49th, so you're still representing me. So
that's right.
Great. Well, let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
Question number 2. Sharon, why county auditor?
A number of reasons. There's a lot going on, a lot to unpack at the federal level. In other states, we're seeing takeovers of county elections. Our Constitution makes the states responsible for the elections.
That's right.
And then within the states, counties are constitutionally an arm of the state. They are an arm of the state, and so they do what the state constitution tells them. And one of those things is elections. And at the county level, unless you're a large home rule type county, the auditor, the assessor, the county clerk, and the treasurer are all separately elected executive offices that are dependent on the Board of County Commissioners for their budget and for a number of other things. They are, county commissioners, for the most part, are executive, legislative, and judicial branch, particularly when it comes to land use. But the auditor is there to run the election system and to be the chief financial officer for the entire county. And a lot of state things come through there, like license plates, things like that. So there is that system. And all of these kinds of systems have been tremendously and rapidly impacted by technology. Not every county has money. So there's a constant interaction with the state for resources for counties. And I have been very concerned and disturbed with what happens when things aren't done well and aren't done with integrity and transparency and accuracy at the county level. And so there's a risk. And we've had accusations, we've had lawsuits against our current county auditor, who has been exemplary in being making sure that everything's transparent. He's the one who makes sure that we have cameras on our ballot boxes. He's the one who has made sure that we have safe, secure areas for the public to come in and observe the counting of ballots and the operation of the system. He is one of our many county auditors that have stood up for a system where we do have a paper trail. It's not virtual that can be tampered with. So there's all kinds of checks and balances. But if people say that it's not secure over and over and over again, some people are going to believe that.
Oh yeah.
And so I feel like I have established trust with people. I've worked with cities and ports throughout the county, not just in my district. And I have management experience, as well as I'm pretty politically feisty, and I think we need somebody who's politically feisty.
Absolutely.
And I'm willing to have that fight. And I think that the next 4 years are going to be absolutely critical at preserving our democracy. And so I've always liked government systems that work well, and I'm sort of a nerd about that. And I've pushed for that as a policymaker, but you can't always get it done as a policymaker. So Greg stepped down, and I stepped up because several people suggested that I do it, and one of those persons was a former county auditor. So other county auditors are supporting me. They believe that I understand the work and can do the job. And as a HR consultant, I have recruited a whole lot of different skill sets, from financial people to technical people to engineers. So I do understand the differences.
And feistiness is what we need against the current administration. Now, current county auditor Greg Kimsey is stepping down after 28 years. We thank him for the work that he's done, and we wish him good luck. You mentioned that one of the things that the county auditor is responsible for is license plate renewals, for example. What else is the county auditor responsible for leading? There's a marriage license, right?
Marriage licenses.
And divorces.
And divorces, and we get right into the public records and data security. And as a legislator, I served on the Technology, Energy, and Economic Development Committee, and so I got deeply involved in government cybersecurity and data privacy issues. We have a very open meetings kind of structure, but we also have a lot of data at risk. And so there has to be secure systems and secure checks and balances and up-to-date technology. And it's, counties are constrained budget-wise. You know that as much as anybody.
Oh, I know that very well.
So being smart about anticipating where things are going to be, and paying attention, in a general sense, to where the risks are. One of my prior roles as a consultant was to create a county-wide risk management system for another county, and go right into the weeds and make sure that every little piece worked together. So we have risks to people's data. We have risks in terms of technology's always changing, and the ability to mess with technology is always changing. Make sure we have the right knowledgeable people in place to make sure that we're doing the right thing at the right time, not after it's over.
Well, the good people always have to stay one step ahead, right? To
we
make
try.
sure that bad actors are not taking advantage and putting people at risk, systems at risk, governments at risk, etc. So that leads me to the next question. Question number 3. So now here's what I want to know. What are your top 3 priorities?
Well, I think those are going to change depending on what the threat is, and meeting any threat or any need for change is given. It's a given. But when county operations or city operations or state operations are being constantly attacked, people that do the work are under tremendous stress. And so making sure that those people have the support and competence they need, and somebody to run interference if necessary. Make sure that they're protected, that they have the tools they need to do the job, and that they know that their work is understood, appreciated. And then the other piece is how to deal with people who are suspicious, who are concerned, who are worried.
Right.
And my style is to treat everyone with respect. Part of the reason I've donated my time for the last 10 years to be a facilitator with the National Institute for Civil Discourse is to go all over the country teaching people how to work with people with different viewpoints.
Wow.
And treating those different viewpoints with respect, and using the existing things that Greg has done to make the system transparent and safe, making those visible, and not just doing it when there's a crisis, but making sure that that is known and appreciated all the time, and inviting people in to see for themselves.
Right.
People need to see things for themselves.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're always open for that, and don't get defensive. Just show the reality.
Right.
And if there's need for change, be willing to say it.
Yeah.
If you need to switch and do a little bit more here or a little more here, be honest about it. Be upfront.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. You know, somebody who's worked in people management, right? Having those skills to be able to effectively lead, employees is essential, right?
Exactly.
Happy employees, results in happy customers. Now, what are some of your other priorities?
Well, part of what prompted me to get into the race right now is that our election and our democracy is under attack.
That's right.
And I believe that the rule of law and our courts are going to keep things together through this election cycle, but there's a lot of unknown threats the next 2 years after that.
Right.
And I believe that it's going to take every single thoughtful person who cares about our democracy to pay attention and not be afraid to step up and say things and do things for the next 4 years. The next 4 years are going to be critical to build things back better.
Right. Yeah.
I think that a lot of destruction and disarray has happened.
Yeah.
And there are I know things that we could have done differently in the past, and I'm an optimist, so I say there's an opportunity to do things better and do things maybe we should have done better along the way.
Yeah.
But building the system for the future so that our children and our grandchildren will know they can grow and live in our community knowing that their vote counts, their voice counts, that if they cast a ballot, it's not going to be corrupted or stolen.
Right.
All of that is really important, and that means building a system people have faith in. It also means listening to people and bearing down on what it is they're suspicious of.
Yeah.
And being really forthcoming about that. And I think that as a consultant, I often worked with disciplines, people that weren't great communicators. I was a bridge.
Yeah.
I was a bridge person, just like I've been working on the I-5 bridge for 12 years.
Yes, exactly.
But bridging differences is sort of become my mission.
Yeah.
And I think we are in a time when we really need to pull together as a community. We need to make sure that our systems reflect our values, and that good people aren't afraid to step up and be leaders for fear of being harassed, for fear of being criticized unfairly, or attacked or sued. We need to have a more civil society.
Yes, yeah.
And I believe that modeling that, expecting that, and then talking deeply about it and demonstrating it are what I bring to this process in a way that I think I probably thought more about these issues than most people.
Than the average person, and fearless leaders is what we need at every level of government, especially against the current administration. Now, not too long ago, I listened to a California congresswoman talk about the same level of optimism as you, right? We didn't realize how broken some of our systems were until the current administration, right? So not only is this an opportunity to halt what's going on, hopefully by the midterms we can do that, and also fix some of those systems that we didn't realize were broken.
Well, this sounds kind of paranoid, but I think the tech bros that got in the transition probably kicked over a lot of buckets.
Right.
And you can't put everything back in those buckets, and maybe you shouldn't. But I think that out of chaos comes opportunity sometimes.
Absolutely.
But it has to be intentional, and I think those of us that have a lot of experience in knowing what makes things work and not work can be very helpful to people with great ideas but may not have the depth of experience.
Right.
And offering that it's no time to be shy about sharing your skills and your experience wherever it's needed. And remember, government was designed to be inflexible and resistant to political change.
Yeah.
And businesses have to be nimble.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's an inherent disconnect between business and government right now.
Yeah.
But I think we have opportunities to bridge those differences and make things work better for everybody.
Yeah. And Sharon, thank you. You've mentioned, some really important priorities that you intend to undertake, right? If you were to win this election, right? And that includes people management, ensuring that our employees are taken care of, right? And that there's transparency and trust. And of course, you mentioned, ensuring that we mitigate any risks, right? And ensure that we have proper systems in place to have secure elections, right? Can you tell me a little bit more about the election integrity in our county?
I think that part of what we have to be ready for is without wasting resources being ready.
Yeah.
Is ready for worst case scenarios at the federal level.
Absolutely.
The reality is that we're dependent on the post office, and postal functions don't always date stamp, and so getting there's a looming disconnect between where things are trying to go at the federal level, saying you have to count the ballot the same day, which is what they did in Oregon,
right? And
I'm comfortable with that because I lived in Oregon.
Yeah.
But we have to be ready to do that, and then if worst case scenario we can't do vote by mail and we have to do more in-person ballot. Where did we vote before we had vote by mail?
Right.
A lot of people don't remember that.
It
was in elementary schools. Do we really think that elementary schools will breach their security to have the public coming and going all day during a school day in order to cast a ballot?
Right.
We're going to have to look at what does that look like.
Right.
And we can think it through without investing resources until we need to.
Yeah.
And being smart about that, but anticipating it and having a what if plan.
Right, exactly.
And I think that those are the kinds of things that are sort of my risk management brain and my experience brain of knowing, okay, if we had to go back, what would that look like? Will it look like Oregon's system, or will it look a little bit different? And what the federal government shouldn't be able to tell us how to do that by anybody's constitution, federal or state. But they do have control over the post office, and they've been beating down the post office for a lot of years now. Yeah. And I believe in having a good, healthy postal service, but I don't have control over that.
Right. That's exactly at state level. That's
having a plan, and I'm somebody that likes to figure things out. Say, okay, this is where we're going to get, and these are the path. This is the most direct path. What are the what ifs that could get in the way of getting there? And what is our plan for what we do if that happens, and how do we make sure we're all on the same page?
Yeah. Well, let's hope that we can continue to keep our vote by mail, and I'm pretty sure that if something happens along the way, the state will fight it fearlessly.
Well, and that's another thing.
Yeah.
I've been a lobbyist for counties, and being having an advocate for county government is always needed.
Absolutely. As a counselor, I completely agree.
Of course you do.
Sharon, thank you so much for being with us
always
today.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate it. I wish you the best of luck on this race. We still got a few months, so a lot of work to do. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Folks, that is our show for today. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell. We will see you next time.